Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Sam's MCO special. So, how's it going? So today we're going to tell you a little bit of a story. First, go away. Okay, so I'll tell you the story of this guy. This guy doesn't look very happy, does he? Well, maybe it's because he's got this little burning sensation in his belly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so have you ever felt that nagging, burning sensation in your stomach? Okay. Well, you might just have this thing called stomach ulcers. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the story of stomach ulcers. Okay. So not to be confused with acid reflux, which is when the acid comes out. Here, let's explain this. So, in your body, in your stomach, green color. Okay, so this is your stomach. Okay, and your stomach is very good at what it does, which is digesting stuff. Okay, so how does it do that? It has this really funky thing called hydrochloric acid. Okay, so there's this stuff in here. Okay, it's called hydrochloric acid, HCl acid. Okay, so it's one of the few places in the body where you get a very caustic, acidic environment. Okay, it's very nasty, very nasty. And because it's acidic, it is very highly inhospitable to most stuff. Okay, so I mean, it's on your side. It's good. You want it to be acidic. Okay, so it helps to digest the food as well as kill off a lot of organisms, fungi, annoying protozoans that would try and invade and deal damage to your body. Okay, so acid. Okay, it's good. All right, but what is not so good is when it starts causing damage to your stomach. Okay, so sometimes it can poke some holes in your stomach. Okay. Okay. So like I mentioned, it's different from acid reflux, which is when this acid kind of goes up, back into your esophagus. Up that way. Right. Bleh. Okay. So that's not so good. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is these things. Okay. So ulcers. Right. The little damaged wounds. Think of them as little wounds in your stomach wall. Okay. A little nasty. Okay. So now that you know what stomach ulcers are, do you know what causes them? So for the longest time, people thought and people claimed, which it's not entirely untrue, that ulcers were caused by things like stress. So your boss gives you stomach ulcers, right? So you get a bit of gastric pain, stress. Okay, or they're like, oh, it's spicy food. Eating away and your stomach lining, giving you ulcers. Yeah. Or number 3, probably something like too much acid. Too much acid. You can never have too much acid. Yeah, no. All things in moderation. Okay, so these were the main reasons that were usually cited for this burning in your belly. Okay. Drawing fire. Okay, and that's why it's sad face. All right. So, what happened now? We'll tell you a different story. A story of these two guys. Yeah, I previewed them because I'm lazy. Okay, so now I'll tell you about the story of these two chaps. This guy, one is named Robin, not Shavatsky. Warren. Hey, that's where rabbits live. Warren. Okay, and this other guy named Barry Marshall. So if you're in the scientific community, you probably already know this story. And you probably heard of this dude. Okay, so Barry Marshall tends to be more famous than Warren, Mr. Warren. But they were both instrumental in discovering this very interesting cause of stomach ulcers. Okay, so back in the day, this is back in 1981. The year is 1981. Okay, that's how long ago it was. Okay, so these two gentlemen, gentle rabbits, I should say, they discovered that a lot of their patients, so this dude is a pathologist, Rabid. Okay, and he noticed that a lot of his patients had a mysterious bacteria in their stomach tissue from his biopsy specimens. Okay, so he worked hard with his friend Barry Marshall, also a physician, to try and culture it. Okay, so they managed to eventually grow it. So it is not an easy culture to grow. Okay, and what they saw was mildly disturbing. So what they saw was this guy. Okay, this dude. All right, this guy. So under the microscope, they saw these like these wavy looking things with tentacles. Yeah, it's kind of kooky. So yes, very much like aliens. Okay, so this guy right here. Okay, and then when they went around telling people, they were like, guys, we found the bacteria that causes stomach ulcers. Everyone was like, what? You guys are crazy. Okay, so disappeared. This was back in the 80s. Okay, nobody believed them. Nobody wanted to believe them. Why? Well, that's a very good reason. I guess a lot of people thought it was ridiculous, right? That this guy could survive in acid. Remember, I said that acid, it's very potent stuff. Could survive in the acid wastelands. Okay, of the stomach. So people were like, "Oh, that's not possible. It's acid, man. Nothing grows in acid, especially your stomach acid. It's the best." Okay, so this guy will be dead. Okay, not possible. All right. So that was one reason. Another reason is our good friends in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, so of course we love our friends in the drug business. Yes. So they're very nice. And they said, we have drugs, for stomach ulcers. So no, we don't believe you, right? Because pharmaceutical companies have always been our best friends, in the interest of public health, right? Especially if they have a nice drug that you have to keep taking. So these drugs did not cure ulcers. Okay, let's just make that clear. They merely control the release of stomach acid. Okay, means you need to keep taking it. You need to keep your stomach acid low. All right. So yeah, so there you go. That's our little friends in the pharmaceutical business. Thank you. Right. Oh dear. Hands. Go away. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. So what happened? So what did our good friend? Oh, not this guy. These guys. What did they do? So they were undeterred. What Barry Marshall did, no one saw coming. So what he did was, he isolated that bacteria, right? And he took a nice. Let's pick a nice color. What's a nice color? Let's not change colors. Too colorful. Okay, picked a nice glass of those little dudes. Remember, and those little dudes I was saying, wavy dudes, wavy dudes. Okay, he took a whole cup of them, and he drank it. Okay, and then of course he didn't feel so well. Okay, so he got that burn in his belly. Burn. Okay, not so happy. Sad face. All right, so from there he proved scientifically, of course, that these guys can cause stomach ulcers, pain. Okay. So, what happened next is many years, of course, of research, and the next thing is the testing. Okay, so they came up with treatment for this Helicobacter pylori. Okay, so that's its name, Helico, because it's helical, it's squiggly. Okay, Helicobacter pylori. That's the name. So you probably heard it. It wasn't that long ago, actually, just a couple years back. right? So yeah, so these guys did a good job. They found out, and they realized that it's a bacteria. You can treat it with antibiotics. Okay, but of course, because of the bacteria being able to survive in your stomach, it's not so easy to hit it with with a good antibiotic. But generally, amoxicillin or clarithromycin, they usually work. And I guess some people use metronidazole. Yeah, but anyway, yes. So just a nice course of antibiotics should do that. Okay, so let's talk a little about testing. So say you have this burning in your stomach, all right, and you see a doctor. Okay, so your doctor will get you to do a test. So there's a few tests out there. So there is the Rabid Urease test. Okay, RUT. So why urease? Well, because this the bacteria Helicobacter pylori produces a lot of urease. I don't ask me why. It just does. It likes urease. Okay. Another test you can do is the UBT test, the urea breath test. So it's like alcohol but for urea. Yes. So if you have burning in your stomach and you have a funky smell, yeah, maybe you might have Helicobacter Helicobacter pylori reinfection. Man, I have trouble saying that. Okay. Yes. So, a very good question. How do these bacteria? How does this guy survive? Oh boy. Too much randomness. How does this guy survive inside the stomach? Well, so what it does is it burrows into the mucus. All right, and it has this flagella. Okay, so flagella are these things. Okay, okay, and it uses them. Okay, to drill into the mucus lining. So it comes to drill. Drill. Okay, and it drills into your stomach lining and swims away from the acidic content. Yep, that's pretty much. You think it's some fancy thing, but nope. They're just drilling into your stomach. Drill. Okay. Oh, and then because they have urease, which breaks down urea. So they depend a lot on that urease. Remember I mentioned that urease that you can test for? Yeah. So it's an enzyme that breaks down urea. Okay. And they need it. So that's why they release so much of it. Okay, that's how they survive in your stomach. All right. So yeah, thanks to this dude, thanks to Mr. Barry Marshall. Oh boy, where is he? Barry. Okay, there we go. Okay, we now have a solution, and many people are cured from their stomach ulcers. All right, hip hooray! All right, hope you guys enjoyed that random foray, random story of Barry Marshall and the Helicobacter pylori. Okay, we always forget Robin Warren, I should say Mr. Warren and Mr. Marshall. Okay, thanks. Oh, did I mention that this dude is from Perth, Australia? He's Aussie, mate. Aussie. Yeah, it's fine. Throw that in. Okay, that's all from me. Sam out. Blob 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 blob. Yeah, go get checked out if you have stomach pains. Okay, that's all from me. Good night.